Hello everyone, welcome to the latest episode of Soul's Unboxing. If you'd like to know what great games I'll be unboxing next, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. When Capcom released Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, or simply RE7 in 2017, I was both thrilled and puzzled. Sure, we'd waited for almost 5 years before the next installment in the Resident Evil series came out, and we welcomed the use of their proprietary RE engine for an added level of realism. But they announced that it will become a first-person adventure experience rather than the third-person one that we used to love. That's why when I started playing RE7, I already struggled at the first half an hour because I was just too scared to know what's lurking around the corner. Well, those were the days. This week, we'll be unboxing this. Resident Evil Village Gold Edition. Capcom actually released Resident Evil Village just last year to carry on with the journey of Ethan Winters. They continue to utilize the RE engine and first-person point of view, but this time focused more on the action part as opposed to the adventure part in the last game. And this is not the first time Capcom did a Gold Edition for the Resident Evil games either. RE7 also received the Gold Edition treatment and had all the DLCs included in one package. Depending on which edition you got, they did recycle the cover with fan favorite Chris Redfield on the front for both standard and Gold editions of RE8, but it's different from Deluxe Edition nonetheless. And here's the Deluxe Edition cover. And I do have the RE7 Gold Edition here as a reference. Sorry, I'm just too lazy to remove the price tag. And before we move on, we'll just remove the shrink wrap and take a look inside. Oops. So this is Capcom's approach in making Gold Editions for both RE7 and RE8. They try to load everything in one disc. Well, this one got a separate DLC card, and you can see they have the Winters expansion and also the Trauma Pack, which was actually inside the Deluxe Edition before, and also the Resident Evil Reverse, which is like a co-op game, or you versus the others, or the others will come after you, if you have ever seen the trailer before. So for RE8, we are talking about the promised Winters expansion. Set 16 years after the main events of Resident Evil Village, we'll be following the footsteps of Rose Winters, who's Ethan's daughter if you remember what happened at the end of RE7. She now possesses some supernatural power that's a bit too terrifying for her, and in great needs to find a cure for that. Sure, she still uses and fires guns, but she has some extra powers at her disposal. So things will play differently when you are playing her chapter. Another great addition to RE8 Gold Edition is new stages and extra playable characters in Mercenaries Additional Orders, including Chris Redfield, Carl Heisenberg, and Lady Dimitrescu. Who doesn't want to control Lady Dimitrescu, right? But the biggest addition, or rather an overhaul as Capcom would have described it, is the third-person mode for the campaign, including the original story mode and Shadows of Rose expansion. Indeed, Shadows of Rose expansion can only be played in third-person mode. I'm actually a bit overjoyed already when I heard the news, as I can finally say goodbye to the dizziness and extra scares in first-person mode. That will also bring us back to the RE mood we are all accustomed to. Oh, and if you want to have a taste of the third-person mode, you can actually download from PlayStation Store first to try it out. Sadly, RE8 also concludes the Winters journey as indicated by the game director KentoKinoshita. Why? I'm not going to spoil the story in here. But don't worry, the Resident Evil franchise is far from being done. Next March, we'll have Resident Evil 4 Remake featuring another of our favorite character in RE universe, Leon Kennedy. In the meanwhile, don't forget to like and comment on my video. Let's experience RE8 in a totally different perspective. Have a good scare, everyone.